Mini Stories 1 PSEB Class 7 PDF. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. 1. Rent for water. Once upon a time, a man sold his well to a farmer. The farmer bought the well so that he could water his fields. The next day, when the farmer went to draw water from that well, the man did not allow him to draw the water from it. He said, "I have sold you the well, not the water, so you cannot draw the water from it." They started arguing. When they could not solve the problem, they decided to take the issue to the king. They went to the court of King Krishna Dev Rai. King Krishna Dev Rai was sitting in his courtroom. He was listening to the complaints of the people of his kingdom. The man and the farmer came inside the courtroom of the king and greeted the king by joining their hands and bowing in front of him. The farmer looked very sad. King Krishna Dev Rai asked him, "Why are you looking sad? What is your problem?" The farmer narrated everything to the king. He said in a sad voice, "Your Majesty, I am a poor farmer. It is difficult for me to get 2 meals every day. Please help me." The king said, "All right, tell me your problem." The farmer replied, "This man is my neighbor. I needed water for my fields. I bought a well from him to water my fields." The king said, "Did you not pay him the money?" The farmer said, "I did, Your Majesty, with great difficulty. I collected money to buy a well. I bought the well from him by giving him the money he had asked for." The king asked the man, "Did the farmer give you the money for the well?" The man said, "Yes, Your Majesty." The king asked the farmer, "So what is the argument about then?" The farmer said, "Now, he's asking me to pay the money for the water too. The water in the well is mine now. Why should I pay him more? I want justice, Your Majesty." The king asked the neighbor, "What is this? Is it true?" The neighbor also pleaded, "Yes, Your Majesty, I sold him the well, but not the water inside it." The king found the problem very interesting and asked Tenali Raman, the wisest minister of his court, to solve it. Tenali Raman then said to the neighbor, "We understand that you have sold your well to the farmer, but not the water." "Yes, sir," said the man. "But you sold the well and took money for it," said Tenali Raman. "Yes, sir," said the man. The wise minister looked at the farmer and said, "So the well belongs to you and the water to your neighbor?" "Yes, sir," said the farmer. "So is he giving you the rent for keeping his water in your well?" asked Tenali Raman. "No, sir," said the farmer smilingly. He had understood that he would get justice. Tenali Raman said to the man, "Since you have kept your water in the well, you should pay the rent to the farmer or take out your water immediately. If you do not take out your water from this man's well, you must pay 2 gold coins as rent to the farmer for keeping your water in the farmer's well, and the farmer will pay you 1 gold coin every month for drawing the water from the well for his fields." King Krishna Dev Rai started smiling at how Tenali Raman had solved this tricky situation and done justice too. Tenali Raman proved that greed is not good and punished the neighbor for his dishonesty. 2. Trains. Over the mountains. Over the plains. Over the rivers. Here come the trains. Carrying passengers. Carrying mail. Bringing their precious loads. In without fail. Thousands of freight cars. All rushing on. Through day and darkness. Through dusk and dawn. Over the mountains. Over the plains. Over the rivers. Here come the trains. 3 clouds. White sheep, on a blue hill. When the wind stops, you all stand still. when the wind blows, you walk away slow. White sheep, where do you go? 4. Birbul's Khichdi. It was winter time. The ponds and lakes near Akbar's palace were all frozen. At Akbar's court, Akbar asked Birbul, "Tell me one thing, Birbul, do you think a man will do anything for money?" Birbul replied, "Yes, Your Majesty." Akbar ordered, "All right, then prove it." The next day, Birbul came to the court along with a Brahmin. He was extremely poor, and his family was starving. He had no money to feed them. Birbul said to the king, "This Brahmin is ready to do anything for the sake of money." Akbar asked, "Will he do what I say?" "Anything, if I get some money to feed my family," said the poor Brahmin before Birbul could reply. The king said to the Brahmin, "Stand inside the frozen pond all through the night, without any clothes, and I will give you 2,000 gold coins." The poor Brahmin needed money. He had no choice. He stood in the frozen pond all through the night, shivering. In the morning, he returned to Akbar's court to receive his reward of 2,000 gold coins. The king asked the Brahmin, "How could you stand in the frozen pond in such an extreme temperature?" The innocent Brahmin replied, "I could see faintly glowing lights of the palace a mile away, and that was a ray of hope for me. I kept looking at the lights and thinking about my family, that they will get food if I continue to stand in the pond." Akbar suddenly became very stern. He said harshly, "O Brahmin, you have cheated me. I will not give you any reward for this. You looked at the palace lights and got warmth from the lights. You do not deserve the reward." Birbul said, "Your Majesty, it is impossible to get the warmth from the lights glowing so far away." Akbar did not listen to him. How could the poor Brahmin argue with the emperor? He returned disappointed and barehanded from Akbar's court. The next day, Birbul did not go to Akbar's court. He sent a messenger to the emperor saying that he would come to the court only after his khichdi gets cooked. Birbul did not turn up even after 5 days. The emperor himself went to Birbul's house to see what he was doing. He saw that Birbul had lit the fire and kept the pot of uncooked khichdi 1 yard above the fire. Akbar said, "Birbul, I considered you to be the wisest in this country, but you have proved me wrong." Birbul said, "Why, Your Majesty?" Akbar said, "How will the khichdi get cooked when it is 1 yard above the fire? What is wrong with you, Birbul?" Birbul kept stirring the pot and replied, "O my great emperor, when it is possible for a person to receive warmth from the faintly glowing lights a mile away, then it should be possible for this khichdi, which is just a yard above the fire, to get cooked." Akbar realized his mistake. He called the poor Brahmin and gave him 2,000 gold coins. Akbar was happy that Birbul had helped him to realize his mistake. 5. My bus journey to Jalandhar. The bus was full, so I couldn't get any seat. It was very hot. I was sweating. Soon the conductor whistled. The bus started moving. I felt easy. Some passengers got down at Phagwara. Now I got a seat near the window. I looked out of the window. Green fields looked very beautiful. Farmers were at their work. Cattle were grazing. A bus crossed many bridges on the way. At last the bus reached Jalandhar. It took me 3 hours to reach there. I enjoyed the journey, but I got tired. When I saw my dad, I forgot all about my tiredness.